Hey, welcome to MorningCraft. Well, keen-eyed among you might notice that it is very, very, very far from morning, and one might say it's the middle of the night. But yeah, it was just one of those days, one of them days. So didn't get to do much of the morning. So here we are, close to midnight, back in World of Warcraft. I'd be curious to see how many people are online in Westfall. 14 people. Okay, looks like we're not gonna have too many questing buddies, but it makes sense. It's midnight on a Thursday. Okay, plan for today? Probably just spend some time doing these two quests, because something tells me that they are going to take a while. Alright, let's see if we can get our gear fixed up. That would be
Light bless you.
a good way to start this. What are you doing up there?
You need something?
I do need something. I need my gear fixed. Wonder if we have any mail. Nope, nothing. Can't believe you guys haven't started sending me fan mail yet. Very, very impolite. Actually don't know where to fix my gear out here. Though I almost want to say that there might be somebody up on the Sentinel Tower. I baptized at Sentinel Tower. I'm not sure that it is. That might be able to fix my gear. But Questy. That's not what Questy looked like. Icons? Enable icons. Okay, well, never mind. Doesn't really matter, does it? And our gear is in not that bad condition. Quartermaster, are you able to fix me
only
up?
the finest goods.
You're not. That's Saul's bag. We can actually sell a couple of things, to be fair. We don't need this, and we don't need this either. Probably don't need the light leather. We'll keep the Dalaran Sharp, because it actually heals a decent amount of our health. Fishing rod we'll keep, because it's always fun to deep rat kebab we'll also keep. Yeah, I think we're good for the rest. Okay. I'm completely mistaken about being able to fix my gear here, but that's alright. Okay. Today's topic of mumbling. I haven't quite yet decided. One idea that I had is that I could draw on my professional opinions to talk to you guys about. And my professional opinion only really extends itself to physics, because I am a physicist. A condensed matter physicist at that, and maybe I'll explain what that is, but I say I'm a physicist. I haven't worked in physics in a year, but good news is that in about 6 months I'll be starting a PhD, so I'll go back to doing essentially the only thing that I'm half decent in doing. Certainly not very good at Warcraft, as you guys may have been able to ascertain from the quality of gameplay that we have out here. But yeah, actually, let's go here. But to talk, I'm even quieter than usual, I feel like, because it is that late at night. But I have maneuvered my microphone to be very much snug in my face. So actually the volume could be higher than what we're used to in this very well edited series. Hey there, buddy. Ooh. Oh, the keybind wasn't working there for a second. Got worried. Still isn't. I wonder if my keys are sticking. I've got one of these the Razor Naga mouses. Like the ones that have like 15 keys at the side. Is it 15 keys? Nope, 12. Let's do a quick count there. Oh, hi there. Ooh, I got myself in trouble actually. But yeah, I have one of those. And for some reason, my shift forward was not working. Curious event. Ooh, don't run away now, buddy. Oh, we're doing great. We'll use that linen cloth to, are you a knuckle duster? Do you have a friend with you? Yes, you do. There's also a chest in there. I wonder. We're not going to be able to take both of them at the same time. Comfortably, at least. So I wonder if I shoot him,
Not ready yet.
whether the other one will follow. Okay. We're not gonna engage in that. If I was a level or two higher, then we're definitely not gonna engage in this. Just gonna press that, because that's her panic. Oh, this is miserable. Oh, that was so bad. Lesson learned, I guess. I should have stayed and fought both of them. Yeah, this is not good, because I now don't have functional gear. Hey, it is what it is. Good thing is that I'm not playing on hardcore. That would be, that'd be a series for many years in the future. Maybe once I've, leveled one or two characters to cap in classic, we could try hardcore. Other funny thought I had today. Inevitably. Oh, there you go. William McGregor. Bower and fixer
What can I do for
of
you?
things. Yeah, just repair everything, bud. We're doing pretty bad. For 6 gold, that's worth it.
Have a good one.
Bread merchant. I am.
Step on up. Good day to
What do
you.
you have? I am somewhat
See
tempted
you around.
to buy food.
Buy only the finest goods.
Oh, thank you. I'm tempted to buy, let's say 15 of these.
For the Alliance.
Because we're probably just going to be in a dungeon now for a hot while. Other fun idea that I was talking about. Inevitably, we all know that Classic Plus is coming. And the big question on people's minds, obviously, is how's MorningCraft going to adapt to that? And I think the idea might just be to start MorningCraft Plus once that happens, which should be suitably in the future. I think my idea with MorningCraft is just documenting how we're gonna level up this character all the way from level 18 to 70, if we even get there. But yeah, once WoW Classic Plus comes out, which is gonna be pretty exciting. I think that's gonna be pretty surreal if Blizzard pulls it off, right? And depending on what year it is and what year it's been, Blizzard sometimes has a bit of struggle with the whole pulling it off thing. But we'll see. I got hope. I've got hope that it's gonna be a good one. You can't mess up the canvas of Classic Plus too much, right? The empty canvas is just classic. Unbeatable vibes. I say that, and I've never gotten to the end of this game. Please don't attack. Thank you. I've never gotten to the end of this game. But I've got hope that it'll be good. Where are all the Defias? Oh, they're there. My guess is that we're gonna need to go into the mine, and so in there, I think. I don't know. Yeah, and there. It has to be there. And, I start killing stuff. Start killing dudes. Hello, Defias hideout. I love that it very much just gives it away. You've walked into a random building. It says, Defias hideout. Not very secretive now. I forgot what I was rambling about. I'm gonna go in stealth because I am afraid. I'm afraid of what the future may bring. Oh, you know what would have been good? What would have been... Hello. You are not the right level. My, oh my. We might be exploring for no reason. I don't think any of the guys we need are actually going to be in here. Just keep walking, buddy. Thank you. But this is going to be a good exploration session. There's a hot chance that we don't need to be in here. I'll just read the, so my most risk needs to find something looking appealing the countryside all the way to the southern Westfall. We don't need to be here. Okay. I don't know why I assumed that we would have to be in here. But that was clearly very dumb of me. We have to be when you complete the Dead Mines dungeon proper. If I remember correctly, there's an exit that you can take that brings you to the South Westfall. That's where we need to go. Okay. Well, you do it cheeky, you know. Speedrun, solo Dead Mines run. Okay, but I am dumb. Oh, the poor horses. That's one heck of a skull. And to be fair, oh, am I lost now? There's the door. I was only joking. Yeah, that was dumb. I cannot tell you how tired I am today and how much of a day it's been. So, I'm like forgetting half of the things I want to talk about. Defias Pathstalker. You're gonna bring your friends with you. That's the issue. If I go...
I'm out of range.
If I go like that, you're inevitably going to bring your friend. But I can take you on, actually. We're fine. Because that's a level 14. And then I think we just run. That's the plan. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. This is so... This is too embarrassing currently. I think the issue that we may have is some of our armor. Potentially. We're not doing too good in this front. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm also, just out of curiosity, see if our odds improve. I can't do that when I'm dead. Why can I not change my weapons when I'm dead? Because I'm a ghost? Because I have... You guys seen this? Because I have this freaky face going on here? Is that why I can't change my weapons? Yeah. But anyways, as you can... I'd like to say as you can tell from gameplay, but whether it's morning or evening, you guys really see how garbage of a player I am. Yeah, just that tired. So, I'm gonna be rambling a lot, but I'm also gonna be forgetting just about everything I'm talking about. Okay, Pathstalker, thank you. I'm gonna kill you. Let me just see if I have any form of better luck doing this. Bro. Broski. Okay. Maybe we become friends with Pakunu. Pakunu looks like he knows what he's doing. Yeah, Pakunu has obliterated these camps. Silverleaf requires herbalism. I'm also not really doing a good job of keeping up with whatchamacallit, my professions. Really not doing a good job there. And it's even meant to be why'd you turn around, buddy? Come on. Come on. That's not cool. Just chill out for a bit. Regain some energy. Is it called energy? Yeah, it's called energy. I was almost about to call it action. But I don't think that's the right term. Yeah, we're not. Okay, compare and contrast, right? Compare and contrast. Let's see what's wrong here. Anybody home? Anybody wanna get a knuckle sandwich? Oh, it's this valley here. Okay. I didn't realize that we actually needed to get path stalkers. For some reason, my brain defaulted as reading just the first and the last item on the killing list. Does this mean they're underground? I don't know what this means. Another highwayman. Hello, man of the highway. But yeah, a lot of ums. Oh, I can do this. Okay, we're gonna try that next, because that's actually gonna be funny.
Not enough energy. I don't have.
There you go, I now have enough energy. I think we should give him one of these.
Not enough energy.
Yeah, I don't think we're having a good time
It's too far away.
with swords. So we might have to, as embarrassing as this is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. That it's just everything feels just a bit worse. With the sword. Oh, it is. Yeah, because this feels smooth.
Energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
Okay, I'll do this. Alright, 18 minutes in, we should probably start today's topic of rambling. I might talk about physics, actually. So, I am a condensed matter physicist. And what is condensed matter physics, you may ask? Condensed matter physics is the study of materials. That's really what it boils down to. I'm not gonna do this. Don't really care. Condensed matter physics, all that it really boils down to is the study of materials. And we try to leverage kind of the fundamental laws that we know about, like microscopic particles, like electrons, and sometimes, atoms. So really the laws of quantum mechanics. Figure out how all of these fundamental particles come together to produce the matter that we know and love. Oop, messed that up. What is happening here? That was so weird. That's all that really is. It's a field that's very wide in scope. I like to say that particle physicists deal with the things on the smallest scale, and cosmologists deal with the things on the largest scales. And dear God, system. And then everything in between, really, if you think about it, is condensed matter physics. It's not true, of course, but it's good enough. But we deal with things like metals. Why? It's not really trivial why there are some materials that conduct electricity really easily, like metals, and there's others which are insulators, right? It kind of, in a way, comes down to materials that have electrons which undergo traffic jams, which are insulators, and that is genuinely a type of insulating material. It's called a Mott insulator, and essentially, the interactions between electrons, right, because electrons are negative particles, become large enough, right, those forces of repulsion, that the electrons just kind of start jamming when they try to move. And if electrons ain't moving, we have no electricity, so you have an insulator. And you have materials like metals where the electrons essentially flow very freely, and then you have materials like superconductors, which, well, the electrons somehow flow even more freely. Oh, that missed. Oh, we're doing better. Okay. Yeah, so the the electrons flow even more freely, and sometimes it's not clear why they do it. Well, we understand superconductivity for materials that do it at a very low temperature, but then when it comes to high temperature superconductors, well, we've known about them. I say high temperature, by the way, but this is a physicist's definition of high temperature, so that's like, I want to say about minus 170 degrees C. Low temperature superconductors do it at absolute zero, close to absolute zero. So that's around minus 273 degrees Celsius. I don't know what it is in freedom units. I've honestly never managed to learn those. We'll get the path soccer in a bit. But yeah, that's kind of like a very, I think, very unappealing description of condensed matter physics that I've given. But I don't know. It's not a field that, for some people, I think is a field that's interesting for the materials themselves. Such a cool view out here. Oh, I love it. I think I'll take a screenshot. Did I just do Z? Yeah. I may have slightly messed around with that. Oh. Yeah, when I do print screen, the Windows print screen also comes up. Let's take another one. And then, there you go. That's gonna look weird. But it's a field that, for some people, is interesting because they're really like fascinated by the materials. But then there's people like me that, like, I can't say that I'm overly attached to like copper as a metal. I don't really care too much about it. But what is interesting is just the breadth of physics that you see in condensed matter systems, because you have like essentially all of the fundamental physics that happens for like microscopic particles, like all of the physics of the electromagnetic force, and you get to see all these cool topological, I'm not going to explain what topological means today, but that can be the topic of another rambling episode. So you can see all of these fundamental forces at play in condensed matter systems, but then you also get things that kind of arise from the collective motion, from the collective action of these particles coming together. And so you get to see all of physics in this very simple setting of bugs here. Okay, I think we hit him, and then we get cocky. That's what we do.
Not enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have.
We relax for 3 seconds, and then we hit that. But you get to see kind of the whole breadth of physics just within one field. I think that's why I'm so drawn to it. That's why I like it so much. And I'm a theorist, so that means that I don't really work in a lab. I haven't been in a lab since want to say the third year of my bachelor's degree, which was a long time ago now, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I want to say. So it's been a while. I'm a theorist, so I do pen and paper calculations, and increasingly, there comes a point in condensed matter physics where pen and paper calculations are kind of hard to do because it's hard to calculate the collective properties of like 1,000 electrons on paper. I say it's hard; it's kind of impossible, really. So instead, I get a computer to do my calculations. So I learn how to translate physics into computer programs and make a computer run it. And that's kind of a fun experience because, in a way, you're doing the job of translation. You're translating your physics from the nice maths that you're able to run on your computer into Python instead, or if you're really cool, Fortran. That's a joke. Fortran is not that cool. Might have been cool many moons ago, but its time may have elapsed. I think the cool kids now tend to use Python. The really cool kids, they'll sometimes use Julia. I'm one of those very cool kids. I do quite like using Julia. It's essentially a Pythonic programming language, but compiles quite quickly, so it's fun to use. It has some quirks of syntax if you're coming from Python, but yeah, the doing computational physics, as it's called, has this interesting effect that you spend a lot of time trying to understand the physics just so that you can translate it. And that has a lot of value, I think, at least. It helps me slow down and think about these things that I kind of thought were elementary, but upon further examination, in the final analysis, as philosophers like to say, it turns out that I needed to do a bit more thinking about those topics, so that I can translate them into my nice Asus laptop understanding. I don't want to leave my Asus laptop out of this. It's it's a day one. Here we have these guys. But yeah, that's a general overview of what I think of what condensed matter is. Oh, that's cool. We're stealthing and we're holding the bow. Because I guess we canceled the animation halfway through, and then that's a cool quiver. Yeah, we canceled the animation halfway through, and then went to stealth, so that was cool. That's a general overview of what condensed matter is. And I don't work on every topic. Obviously, there's a topic that I must be specializing in. So maybe, yeah, we're at the 5 mask. I got one of those already. Wool cloth, we can take that. So maybe I can talk a bit about what sort of stuff I do. So, I used to, for a large part of my time, work on these things called cold atoms. I'm probably not going to be doing that, but essentially,
Not enough energy.
yeah, as much as you can do theoretical physics, at some point you have to subject it to experiment. And in condensed matter, we deal with materials, and so if we've theorized that a collection of electrons that is subject to such and such properties forms a metal, we'd better be able to go out in nature and find a material that had such and such properties and see what the electrons
I don't have a target.
and see what the electrons in it do. Right? But that sometimes is difficult to find the material out in nature with the right properties. I think that a fantastic example is about the theory of spin liquids. Spin liquids are weird. I'd lie if I said that I really understood them, but minor mana potion, we're not going to need that. But essentially, electrons or atoms or a lot of fundamental particles have this thing called a spin. And one way to think about it is spin is kind of like the smallest division of a magnet. Right? Electrons and most fundamental particles intrinsically have this thing called a spin. You can think of it as this little rotation that kind of they go through all the time, but that's not really the correct picture. I'm actually gonna sit down and eat a frog, or a mud snapper, as it's called here. How much health does it restore? 241. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, these electrons, it turns out they have a spin, but we also know that they have a charge. And well, if you take a charge and you move it around, it produces a magnetic field. And so if you take an electron and you spin it, that also produces a magnetic field. So really, you can think of a lot of fundamental particles as being these really tiny magnets. And what a spin liquid, all that it is that it's just a way that we've theorized that these tiny magnets can pair up with each other. It doesn't sound too important, but it is, because this very special way of these magnets pairing up with each other gives the system a certain set of symmetries which are cool and special, and they also mean, and you're going to think this is ridiculous, and it completely is ridiculous, that because it has a certain set of symmetries, the electrons in spin liquids, in a certain way, cease being the electrons that we know, and have the property to fractionalize. An electron splits into two pieces. And that's a ridiculous notion, because these electrons are meant to be fundamental particles, right? You can split an atom, right, into its nucleus and electrons, but you can't split the electron. The nucleus you can split into protons and neutrons, and the protons and neutrons you can split into their quarks, but you're not meant to be able to split the quarks. In the same way, you're not meant to be able to split an electron. But sure enough, you do the calculation, you run the math, and lo and behold, it looks like these electrons split into two particles. Sometimes they split into three particles, and that's, that's completely out of pocket, as the cool kids would say. And you might think this is just, a bookkeeping exercise, a mathematical fragment. It's just a way for our calculations to be nicer. But it's true. I'm not lying to you. You can go do experiments. It looks like these electrons are splitting, and you can say, well, this is just like a figment of the collective notion, a mirage, but really the electrons are not splitting. But physicists are condensed matter physicists, I will say, are very pragmatic people. So if it looks like the electrons are splitting, for our purposes, we have split an electron. And that's a cool thing to do. But anyway, spin liquids are meant to do this. It's hard to find a spin liquid in nature. There's been a couple of candidate materials, but nobody's really sure that these liquids exist. And that, I think, is, as condensed matter matures as a field, right, and we have kind of picked all the low-hanging fruit in the theory side of things, we need more materials to verify some of our more outlandish theories, and it kind of becomes hard to find these materials. So why not engineer them? That's, in a way, the idea of cold atoms. We don't really care if we're talking about electrons moving around or atoms moving around. For most of our purposes, they're just kind of similar. The math reduces to the same thing, and again, physicists are pragmatic people. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, well, if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. So Our atoms look like electrons and they behave like electrons. We'll just treat them as electrons. We're not going to worry too much about the semantics of it. But cold atoms are very, very, very malleable. You can kind of get them in any sort of geometry. I say any sort of geometry they want. You can get them in several geometries that are hard to find in nature. And you can maneuver them around easily with lasers. Laser tweezers. Laser tweezers are an incredible thing. You can use lasers as tweezers, and I'm not going to elaborate. Laser chopsticks, essentially. It's kind of cool. They can do is cold atoms, and they're very malleable, so what we were doing in cold atoms on the theory side of thing, we were saying that, well, there's this experiment that's been done in a lab, and they show that they can move these cold atoms in such and such way. And we think that we can leverage this to get the right conditions for cold atoms to replicate what's known as a fractional quantum Hall effect. What is the fractional quantum Hall effect? I'm really going in deep with this. Fractional quantum Hall effect. Materials have resistance, right? If you send a current through a material, some of that energy is going to be lost because, well, the electrons are bumping around. That's, I think, a simple way to explain it. It's not the full picture, but it's part of it. Electrons bumping around with the atoms, for example. I think that's a wholly sufficient way to explain what resistance is at an understandable level. But resistance is a continuous variable. So, you know, it can go from anywhere from 0 to infinity, and you can interpolate between those values at whatever resolution you want, however fine-grained of a resolution you want. For some materials, however, this ceases to be the case. It turns out that if you take a material that is just a sheet of metal, essentially two-dimensional, and you point a magnetic field perpendicular to it, and you also lower it to very, very low temperatures. That's always very important in anything that we do, because we want the quantum mechanics to dominate. Another day I'll talk about what the interplay between quantum mechanics and well, thermal fluctuations are, but that's not very important for today. And so you take this sheet of metal and you cool it down and you put a magnetic field perpendicular to it and you start measuring its resistance between two opposite ends. And you find, strangely enough, that it's no longer a continuous variable. It jumps between these discrete plateaus. And to this day, nobody really has an explanation for it. But one way that it would be nice to get explanation is to see how general a system we could generalize this to. Oh, I'm done with these guys. Oops. Also, we're almost coming up to 40 minutes. But I think we should extend it episode today. I kind of feel like it. What was I saying? Yeah, it would be nice to replicate these fractional quantum Hall studies in systems without electrons, and I'll admit this is not a case of a system that is hard to find in nature. You just get a sheet of metal, essentially, right? Well, you get a semiconductor. There's nuances to this, but I don't want to have to worry you about the nuances. Let's get this path stalker out here. Give them a run for their money. Don't have to worry about the nuances. But it would be nice to get a bit of understanding of the fractional quantum Hall effect. We replicated in different materials, and people had experimentally figured out that if you take a bunch of cold atoms and you just spin them, right, you get... Ooh, that's cool. We'll sell that. If you get a bunch of cold atoms and you spin them, that's kind of like subjecting them to a magnetic field. And so we theorized about what would happen if you did this and you rotated them very quickly. And found that, well, if this experimentalist is willing to go out the measurements, what they should find is just the fractional quantum Hall effect.
Not enough
But
energy.
this time replicated not for electrons, but for, Ooh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. We might need to go and get mace specialization. I'm guessing that's going to be an iron forge. Okay, I need to get one more knuckle duster, and then I think let's do a walk around the road to see if we find the messenger. And we can probably call it an episode there. It's been a nice relaxing one so far. I like talking about physics. So I was saying though, we found that if you look at these systems of cold atoms and you're rotating them extremely quickly, you know, at dazzling speeds, at dizzying speeds, it kind of just looks like the same picture of these electrons with a magnetic field hitting them perpendicularly. So you should be seeing the fractional quantum Hall effect, and we calculated a very pretty phase diagram for them. A phase diagram just tells you that if I vary, you know, two parameters that are important to how a system functions, what phase of matter I'm going to find at each point in this parameter space. So the common one that we all know about is water. We know that, well, the simplest phase diagram of water would be something at fixed pressure. So the only parameter, let's say, is the temperature. That if it's below 100 degrees Celsius, then I have liquid water, liquid H2O, right? So just water. And then if it's below 0 degrees, then I have ice. And if it's above 100 degrees Celsius, I have, let's see if anybody that I would like respond. Oh, thank you very much. The last knuckle duster. Let me just, snipe you. But yeah, above 100 degrees, I have steam. Just, I think with Pathfinder's only level 15 or something, so we should be fine. And then I think we'll just run. But yeah, anyways, so we figured out a phase diagram for that. So that's kind of been what the old work was, and it was in cold atoms. And
I
what
don't
level
have
are you?
energy.
Let's try to take care of you.
I don't have enough energy.
Yeah, I actually don't want to take care of you. I feel like I've died too many deaths this session. Okay, let's see if we can somehow repel ourselves. Oh yeah, this is gonna be easy. Repel ourselves down to Munbrook. But yeah, so my old work was in cold atoms and trying to see how you can arrange these funny cold atoms to replicate systems that were interested in condensed matter physics. So usually metals behaving weirdly. I like to say, and this always cracks up my girlfriend, I like to say that my calling in life, my job, is to figure out why electrons go wee. And that's it really. Electrons, they like going to somebody just killed the messenger. That is horrible. I don't know why I'm walking here. But yeah, electrons, they like going to you know, fairground rides. And I like figuring out why they go wee when they do it. It's a very relaxing job, I'll say. It's a very, very relaxing job. It's probably the nicest thing you can do out there. You just sit down in front of a couple sheets of paper and you just think. Right? It's not a very hard job. You just sit there and you think. You think about electrons and metals going wee. And sometimes, I haven't been very successful in this part of the job, I'll admit. Sometimes you get paid for it. But who knows? Maybe in the future I'll get paid for it. But gotta keep working on it till then. But yeah, I I think we can end it with the physics today. I've probably been rambling for about 20 minutes, if not even more. But I think this is a direction that MorningCraft could take. Just me talking about things I find interesting. It's a calm night in Westfall, I will say. Regardless of the massacre that I just perpetuated on the Defiases. That's a wolf. I don't think I've seen wolves in Westfall, I will admit. Let's see where we're at. I could go check down there. Wait. One. Is it /1? Party up. I don't know, maybe we just party up for this. Invite. Ah, cheers. He's leaving Munbrook, so hopefully nobody kills him. I guess he's gonna spawn at Moonbrook, so we should have waited there. Since somebody already killed him, but that's good to know. That he spawns in Moonbrook and just walks around. Harvest Watcher, leave me alone. I have matters to attend to. I have a whole postal system to dismantle. I guess he spawns back quickly though, like every 5 minutes, and that makes sense. Oh, hello. Hello. Hi, bestie. We're gonna go behind him. I kind of want to try this though. This is good. And then I can refresh it. Invite. Now we're doing a public service. This is nice. We slowed down the messenger so that our Draenei friend, Spogrim over here. Alright, let's go for it.
That ability isn't ready yet.
Boop. Let's boop him. There we go. That was good. That was fun. Nice. /Pete. No worries. See ya. I cannot type. I cannot multitask when I'm typing. I'm just built different like that. I'm a very slow typer. That was kind of fun though. Holding the messenger hostage. Whilst he's level 15, wow. So much braver than I am. I like to be at the correct level. Which one is this? Yeah, finish this one. Sorry about that, mate. Yeah, I like to be at the correct level when I do anything. And also, I can just cut through. I'm being a goody two-shoes. Yeah, goody two-shoes. I like to be at the correct level anytime I attempt a quest. Because I'm very scared. And as you can see, well, as you were very privy to, today, I do just die very easily. I give up the ghost like there's no tomorrow. Very good at it. Expert ghost giver upper. Okay. I think we'll turn this in. And, we've had a good episode. I'm happy with this one. I think I had a smile on my face for a lot of it. And that's what we're doing this for. Yeah. Get those happiness hormones. I don't remember what they're called, to be honest with you.
Light be with
Rolling. Alright, let's, oh. We should read
you. Go with
the
honor,
message.
friend.
Black Nails. Who is Black Nails? The sea awaits us. We need your supplies from the north. Strip everything, every railroad pike, every water bucket. We need metal. A shipment is due. That looked like an A. From BB. But long overdue. Come through for me, Black Nails. Send your supplies directly to the barn this time. No time to squander. We've
What can
already
I do
been in
for
the
you?
barn.
Well met.
We can't use any of these to be fair. Well, the mace we could use if we get the specialization, but I'll think about it. 2x2, okay.
Need help?
We're not going to level up,
Game's
unfortunately.
honor, friend.
All we need to know is where the Defias gang is hiding. At the barn, it says it there. Grian, you're not the smartest. We've had a stroke of luck while you were gone. We captured a thief trying to steal Saldine's wagon. He has promised to lead us to the hideout in exchange for his life. I want you to defend the traitor so you can reveal the hideout. Return to me once you have uncovered the
careful.
location. I think that's going to be a quest for maybe not tomorrow. I might not have the time to record tomorrow. And the day after, I might have time to record, but I might not. It might be without any commentary. 18 plus. This requires friends. Oh, we'll have to find friends, and that's difficult in this day and age. You and any friends you can round up are ready to go. Suggested players too. We'll just have to ask people around. Out of curiosity, just to see how yeah, there's no dungeon groups that are there this hour. Just curious. But yeah. I think it's the end of it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you when I see you. I said that, but I did not manage to press the right button to stop recording. I'll see you when I see you.